should start with you giving us a song, a welcome song.
Oh my goodness, I don't like to sing like this. I don't like to sing like this. Okay, but because you asked, because I don't want to turn you down.
Thank you.
What song do I sing? Oh, mimo, 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 solo dumare, ojú ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ kò lè rí ògo rẹ̀, máa jọba lọ Olúwa, máa jọba lọ Olúwa, ọba tá kò lè rọ̀ lóyè, alágbára tá kò lè ṣẹ́gun ni, ìjọba rẹ̀ dùn mọ́ wa yéye o, máa jọba lọ Olúwa. Uncle Shaye, it was because you asked, and I didn't want to say no to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I actually appreciate everything you do, because I know you've had to bend backwards a lot of times for you to do a lot of things. I feel very happy.
Thank you.
Let me
Thank you very much, sir.
What's been happening to SHOLA ALLYSON since March, when we were all locked down? How did you receive the news of the lockdown, and how did you react? What was your initial reaction?
Well, when I got the news of the lockdown, my first reaction was, God help us, so because we don't know this thing. They said it has come to us. That was then. That they said it has come to us. We don't know what will happen. We don't know how much it would affect us and all of that. And of course, we started praying. We started praying and hoping that, and all of us thought it wouldn't be long, maybe like 2 weeks, maybe like 1 month. And all the events that we had towards Easter, we were expecting money. All the events we had to be cancelled. And because people knew already, people that would pay us for the events knew already that they wouldn't be gathering. Of course, they held on to their money. Thank God that they even held on to their money. If they had given us the money and we have spent the money and they are asking for a refund, so we thank God. We thank God for everything. But it kept, going on and on and on and on. We prayed, we were trying to sensitize people about precautions to take and all of that. And it keeps going on and on. At a point, it got depressing. We got kind of depressed. The gloominess of the season. You hear today that somebody died. You hear tomorrow that 150,000 people have died in the US. You hear next tomorrow that in Nigeria, it was 100 and Kiniko. Now it has gone to 200 and something. All those things. You can't go out. When we are jogging in the estate, we are afraid. You don't want to greet your neighbor. You don't want to. You are careful to talk to people and all of that. But now we are getting used to managing it. We are getting used to knowing how to cope with COVID-19. We got to the reality. We got to the stage of the reality that it came. It has come already. Maybe like malaria was discovered at a point. Maybe like cholera or dysentery was discovered at a point and it was managed. So here we are right now. So
what are the lessons? What are the lessons that you've learned?
Well, the lessons I've learned for during this COVID-19 lockdown, the lessons I've learned, there are many, but the lessons I've learned is that, one of them is that we can be without gathering with people. We can, basically, that I can reach God, without having to have many people, a gathering, corporate worship, corporate church service. And I know Muslims too have learned that you can do salat, without going to mashalashi or without many people gathering together, that you can reach God, on your own. That's the lesson for me, basically. Basically, that's it. Because before COVID-19, I'm not somebody who goes out so much. If not for the work I do, I prefer to be in my house. I prefer to be with my family. I prefer to be in my privacy. So there wasn't much difference for me, save that I'm not, because like every go out and perform, minister, you know, and meet people. You know, I've not been able to to do that. But the lessons for me, for family, for work, for God, the lessons are many. Things have changed totally. Things have totally changed, and we are learning to live with it.
So what are the new, or what's the new normal for SHOLA ALLYSON? Everybody talks about new normal now. The new normal. What's the new normal for you?
New normal. I don't know. I was still discussing with somebody this morning. New normal. I don't know. Gathering should start happening so that our work can go on. Because the kind of work that we the kind of work that we do has to be with gatherings, and because of the level that God has brought somebody like me to, they will not want to call me in small gatherings. You know, they will want to organize big events before they call me. Although during this COVID-19, you know, you do events. Maybe we go to a studio, just myself and maybe there was one I did at home, just myself and the keyboardists. Then some we had to go to the studio, and Boko Dabi. It's not like you know, you're in the midst of people and all of that. So the new normal, the new normal, I don't know. Because I think we don't know. I'm sure the government and people, the government and the people in charge of things like this are still going to work out how events are going to be done, how gatherings are going to be managed, and all of that. So the new normal, I don't know it yet. Then come when COVID-19, look how my father lost his school, please.
Benny. If someone had told you in January that SHOLA ALLYSON would not be able to entertain for 3, 4, 5 months, would you have been surprised? I told you in January.
Well, I wouldn't have believed the person, because I would be like, what would warrant that we won't be able to do gatherings? I wouldn't have believed. But
Yellow, I'm listening.
So that's I wouldn't have believed that, but that's the way things happen in life. That's the way things happen in life. Things don't, many of the times, mishaps don't prepare us that they are coming.
That's
just the grace of God that has been holding all of us together. When bad things are going to happen, they don't tell us that if I'm holding a plate and the plate wants to fall down and break, the plate will not say I'm going to fall down and break now. It just happens. May God just sustain us when things like that happen, like it is now, like it is right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about your how you entertain people. I've noticed that once you start to perform, it's a different SHOLA ALLYSON that you see on stage. How does that transformation come? How does it happen?
Well, I believe it's my gift and what I'm supposed to do. I believe it's my calling. I believe it's what I'm supposed to do. I approach all these things as simple as possible. I don't see myself as anything special. I don't see myself as somebody who is special than any other person. I'm just like I think last time they interviewed me, I think I mentioned something like that. Like, you're a journalist, that's your calling. Like, somebody is a lawyer, that's their calling, and I'm a singer, this is my calling. And I try as much as possible to do it as simple as I can do it. So I don't know what happens. I know myself that a transformation happens when I'm performing. Normally, I'm not a person of many words. I don't like to talk. I don't like to talk like but when I have to do this, I have to talk, I have to smile at people, I have to be warm and all of that. So it just happens, and I know the reason why it happens like that. The reason why many people say that, the reason why we see it like that is because it's what I'm supposed to do. And àwọn ìrànwọ́ tí mo nílò láti ṣe nígbà tí mo bá fẹ́ ṣe is always available for me.
Okay.
And I'm grateful to God for that.
Okay. Okay. So what has been going through your mind in the last 3-4 months? What are your ideas? What are the thoughts that has preoccupied your mind?
The thoughts that occupy my mind is just to get better. Just to get better, like, okay, like you said, when the new normal comes, how are we going to be doing it? Just to get better. I'm getting ready to, I would have started work on my new album if not for the lockdown.
Okay.
You know, yes. So I'm preparing to then looking onto the face of God for what next. What am I supposed to say? These songs that are on my mind to release, are they the ones I should release? You know, I will just hold on. I had fixed time with the producers that, okay, we are going to start work. Because the lockdown doesn't really affect the kind of work we do, because it will just be 2 or 3 people in the studio doing the recording. Yes. So I've told them I'm going to start, but I had to hold on because I didn't have the release to start when I said I would start. I was like, okay, all the songs that I thought should be the songs for me to release, are they the songs for me to release? Or maybe the Spirit of God is one causing me, last for me, lowering me, and all of that. So I'm waiting and looking onto the face of God for what next to do. But actually, I wanted to have started to do my new album.
Okay. Let's talk about your relationship with God. I know that He inspires you a lot. He tells you what to do. But how did you get to that point? How did you discover how to relate with God and get messages from Him for your instruction? Okay,
well, the fact that we can hear the Spirit of God talk to us is just grace. It's grace. It's not something that anybody knows to do. So I cannot say exactly that this is what I do. It's a process. You know, it's a process. Everything in life is a process. Growing in any aspect of life is a process. It's just a process. So I was at a particular point, then I got here because I always strive, you know, to get better, to hear more, for my spiritual antenna to be sharper, you know, for me to know whether is the voice of the Spirit of God I'm hearing, or voices in my head that have been put there by institutionalization, by conditioning over the time. So I needed to know. So I got to this point where the way I put it is, you know, there are some things you hear in your mind, and there are some things you hear in your spirit. So when I say that's something that the place where I know that is the Spirit of God talking to me. So it's just by grace that we can even be worthy at all, that the Spirit of God won't cause you, won't bawa sorrow. So I don't count myself special. Like I'm you know. For instance, I released my 7th album in 2018 for free. You know, I hope the people on Facebook are hearing me. You are hearing the questions Uncle Sheye is asking me. Please specify if you can. Thank you for joining us. I had prepared to release the album. We have agreed with the marketer and everything. We were waiting for Ramadan to end before releasing the album. And, you know, suddenly I got the impression on my spirit not to sell it. You know, I refused, like, what kind of thing is that? How can the Holy Spirit tell me not to sell my work? Like, that's the work I do now. You know, that's what I make money with. I refused for a while, but later I had to agree, because if it's money, to buy got sweet, no ni pé kí n lọ ṣe. Be tomato pé kí n kon jí láàárọ̀ kí n lọ kí Uncle Sheye pé ma fún mi ní 3 million naira. You know, you know, I won't argue. I will just say thank God and just go. But that one, because it wasn't sweet. So I just did it. I did it, and I wasn't even expecting anything. I just said, okay, if that's what the Spirit of God wants me to do, I appeared very foolish to my team, you know, my team with whom we are done meeting. about this, how we are going to release. This is a release plan. This kiniko. You know, my husband even asked me, "Are you sure?" But he knows that I'm not a flippant person spiritually, so. But he shocked everybody, like, sure, and I, you know, went ahead and released it for free. But I've not regretted it, you know. I didn't know, like, I'm trying to answer your question. Like, it's not like I'm very sure of Kiniko, Abe minimum, no, perfect to be. I just have a sensitivity towards what the Spirit of God is telling me, you know, and I follow. And but when you are doing it right, then you will feel like you are just living your normal life. It's when you have done it and you are connecting the dots from backwards. That's when you can know that Emelu Amba Mishishen to so I know what I'm doing.